Here are 4 things you can do to give your kids a great chance of being highly successful. Number 1, build them up. Be very confident. Or be very positive with them and help them build their confidence and self-esteem. Now, if you are someone who hates confident people and people with self-belief, you are never going to raise a child who is confident and believe in themselves. If you raise your kids that, success is bad, making money is bad, they're never going to be successful in the business world, right? We hear that it's called, someone's got to break the family curse. Some of you possibly have grown up in a family environment where, like, you're disgusted and you have a hatred for confident men and women, people with high self-esteem. You're offended by them and you hate them and you don't like them. Whether they're an actor, a confident MMA fighter, maybe even a politician, maybe an evangelist, I don't know. Anybody, maybe just some chick at work. You just have a hatred for her or him. If you are offended and you have a disgust for people who believe in themselves, you're probably not going to raise kids who believe in themselves. I'm just going to say it. So that's number 1. Understand that we need to raise kids who are going to be confident and have self-belief, and we need to nurture that and build that constantly. Our confidence and our self-belief is fragile. It needs to be built up every day. We need pats on the back. We need to be rewarded for what we do, not nitpicked about what we didn't do. If your wife cleans a house for Easter and the place looks amazing, you're having a big family event, and you're like, well, now I did see a cobweb in the corner of the garage you didn't get. Then you're an idiot. If your kid just won a state title or just beat a state medalist and you're like, now, I don't like the fact that you got caught in that cradle. Now, we need to work on that. Let's not get too confident. I saw some areas of improvement. You're really not that good. Okay? That's what you're saying. Just say, whoa, badass kid right in front of me, you win. Boom, 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 fist bump, number 1, you win, you're the best, let's go, and you walk away. That's what you say to a kid that just has a big win. You don't need to nitpick them and try to be coach. Leave them alone, right? So learn that a lot of times your kids are not confident and have self-belief because you're crushing them every day. Just like your wife, she can never win. Or a guy, he can never win. The boss is always just messing with them. You're like, dude, I can't win. Just quit. Go get a different job. Take your talents elsewhere. That's what your kids are going to do. They're going to quit. Okay? So, raise confident kids who believe in themselves and understand that you might be the problem. Number 2, don't make them cut weight. Sure, if they're, 40% of the kids are overweight. So, let's be honest. If your kid's one of them, they can lose 3 pounds for state. Okay? Let's be honest. There probably would be good for them. But, this big weight cutting at the youth level and even high school, you got to use some common sense here. So that's number 2. Number 3, make sure they know what the hell they're doing. I have seen parents get mad at their kids and scream and yell at them and coaches and say, you got to have more heart out there. They're just belittling this child like he is a pussy. And I'm like, well, for one, coach, everything you yell is wrong. The kid has a left-footed stance and he wrestles right-handed. You didn't even fix it. The kid has no idea how to head block. Right? His starting position on top is wrong. How are you supposed to stop an explosive kid on bottom when your starting position is wrong on top? Coach. And parents, make sure they know what the hell they're doing. There's a good chance a lot of kids just don't know what they're doing. And we've had 37 of our kids sign Division I in the past 2.5 years. And about 45 or 6 who've signed college racing scholarships in the past 2.5 years. From 22, 23, and 24 so far. Sam Richardson just signed with McKendree, a top NAI high school, just this morning. So that's like 45, 48 in news track. we're winning at a very high level. This is not camp kids who came to one camp for 5 days. This is our academy members who we have complete control and influence over them since they were 7 years old. So we're winning at a high level. And they know wrestling. They know the best ways to score from the very common positions. We've taken the chaos out of a wrestling match. We've added some predictability to their outcomes, added some predictability to their performance, just by having some good common sense things in mind, right? And our online academy has everything. You should join that. If you're not a member, you should join that. And actually use it. Don't buy it if you're not going to use it. Get a home wrestling mat and use it twice a week. It's all spelled out on there. So, weight cutting, the confidence, number 3, make sure they know what the heck they're doing. Get them some training. Just because they're hot, tired, and sweaty after a match doesn't mean they know what they're doing. Oh, my kid's working hard. So, my kid really wants this. So, my kid runs 3 miles a day. He's dedicated. So, she puts in a lot of time. So, you can put in a lot of time, but if you're not studying the study guide, you're wasting your time. Because a system that tells you what to do by default is telling you what not to do. I can take a 1-page weightlifting plan and go into Gold's Gym, the thing's 3 stories tall, 250,000 square feet of space, and I will not touch 99% of that equipment. Well, I'm going to sit on the bouncy ball and do some curls with the pink dumbbells. There's a pulling machine. I'm going to pull on that. There's a thigh master. I'm just going to grip on that a while. Wrong. Those are for old women. You want to go over there to the tire flip, right? So your weightlifting plan, if you have one, is going to direct your focus. And now you say, my child is working very hard and they have a plan that they follow in the weight room. Just because they put in an hour in the weight room and they come home hot, tired, and sweaty doesn't mean they got stronger. It means they got a little fitness workout. Same in wrestling. Oh, I've been wrestling year-round for 6 years. Well, I will not say this to you, young man, but you look like you've wrestled about 6 days. Now let's figure this out. Let's get you in a stance. Oh, you got the wrong stance. Oh, you reach with your attack arm. You reach with a bent arm. You're supposed to keep your right pec over your right knee. Okay, you shoot down like an airplane crash. You're supposed to shoot like a check mark on your head outside attacks. You didn't know that? Okay, well, let's fix that too, right? So they have to know what the hell they're doing. And I would say number 4 is they need to know the sports psychology side of wrestling. There's a movie, it's called Vito. It's on Flow Wrestling. And if you don't have a Flow Wrestling membership, you should get one. You go, that's $14 a month. So you just spent $900 on Georgia Nationals. It's a freaking joke. You got 3 matches, you wrestled 8 minutes, and you act like you just got your money's worth because your kid beat a state Methodist from Kentucky. I'm like, you just spent $900 on 11 minutes of wrestling. You won't spend $14? Same with our online academy. It's $19 a month. I'd give it for free if I could, but I owe $2,500 a month to Lightspeed to host it. I've got $700 a month advertising costs. It costs $34 grand to build that thing. It ain't free. I would give it to you if I could. Skip Georgia Nationals, get a home mat, get the online academy. And, the Vito movie where he just won a world title is very good because it talks about his mental struggles and how he struggled mentally and how he overcame that and won an NCAA title and a world title back to back, and he just won another NCAA title. But he had to just working on technique and wanting it really bad and working on the weights and the conditioning. That's 2 parts of the puzzle. The third part is knowing how to take the fear and panic out of your wrestling. So you need to, number 4, they need to spend a couple hours a week studying the sports psychology side of wrestling. I think our YouTube channel is a good place to go. All right. There's books, get one. Our book, The Pearler Way, on Amazon, is very good. You don't have to get it. I make like $4. I don't need $4, so you don't have to buy it. I could care less, but it's probably a very good resource. In fact, I know it is. There's some famous jiu-jitsu athletes. That's their Bible. I've had a couple of kids get their senior picture taken with that book. Garrett Starks and Nick Kirk, they both wrestled Division I. They said that book changed their life. All right. Trey Brewer carries it everywhere. I just saw him. He's at the NCAs. He works for the FCA. He's a college wrestler now at Central Missouri State. Trey's like, Nick, this book literally, it's going to help me to be a success in life. So The Pearler Way would be good. But just get a book on tape. Or just get a book. There's a bunch of them out there. With Winning in Mind is a really good one. Mind Gym is another good one. Probably number 2 on the list. They don't need motivation stuff. So if you like David Goggins, great. But your kids probably don't need motivation. If they do, get them motivation. But a lot of kids are motivated and they're still not winning, and we got to figure out why, and that's what this video is about. So they got to spend 2 to 3 hours a week listening, studying, right? I mean, I actually hired a sports psychologist for my son. Just hired one for my nephew. I hired a strength coach for my son. Right? It's $300 a month. That's expensive. I get it. But you don't need that. You just need a plan. And you need to like join a gym and actually go to the gym. So you don't really have to have a strength coach. Well, my nephew has a strength coach too, but that's my daughter's gym. So, but I pay for it. It's not free. She's got bills to pay. But, you know, get around some pros. And if you want to offset the cost of some of this, don't go to Georgia Nationals. Quit wasting money on these stupid tournaments. The good tournaments, yes. Youth wrestler who wants to be a national wrestler, go to Tulsa Nationals. Go to USA Nationals. And if you have $3 grand laying around, you can go to Kentucky Nationals, Virginia Nationals, and Missouri Nationals, and Southern Iowa, Route 32 Nationals. I mean, everything's a Nationals nowadays. Most of them are a waste of money. Take that money and get a home wrestling mat. Get some kind of a training program to follow. And actually do it. But those are the 4 key components that I have found that can really help your athlete to have a fighting chance at winning. And, you know, I'd love to see them have success. So whether they come to our camps or not, it's fine. But I think that having some of this laid out before you, because a lot of you a lot of you parents and coaches are doing it wrong. Not because you don't care, it's just because you don't know. And there might be a few things we could add to this list. But for me, those are the 4. So, share this, subscribe, like it. So, you know, share it with 5 people. Share it with 10. And help somebody else out. Good luck.